And Robin, I'm so grateful for your love and support and everybody's at ABC. I am feeling so much better. This virus was something that really knocked me off my feet for a day. But other than that, any of the lingering symptoms, any other time in my life where there was something I would have just tried to push through. It really all started with a runny nose about a week ago. And that was 4 days after I'd returned from a week spent in Seattle covering the initial outbreak of the virus in the US. So last Wednesday, it was just a runny nose. I honestly thought it was allergies. I didn't think of it as anything more than that. I woke up the next morning, just last Thursday, and you know when you wake up and you know something's wrong immediately. You just feel it in your body. I've had the feeling before when I've had the flu, or when my body's just broken down, when I've gone too hard and I've been run down. I knew something was off as soon as I woke up, and that's when I started consulting medical professionals.
And we're glad that you did that. And so to just repeat, you were there, as we know, Washington State, which they had a horrible outbreak, and you were there reporting. You came back, and you didn't have any symptoms. You didn't know if you were around anybody who had been diagnosed. And then you didn't have symptoms right away. It was not until 5 days later that you had the symptoms?
Yeah, that's right, Robin. I still don't know who I came in direct contact with who was positive for the virus. We were in Seattle covering this story, but again, I don't know who that person was. I came back, I was feeling just fine. I had that runny nose the next morning, woke up and really was knocked off my feet. I was fatigued. I was not looking forward to getting out of bed. I had a headache just right between the eyes. I was congested. I had body aches in places that I wasn't used to having them. My lower back was really hurting. But what was notable to me was that I wasn't having the symptoms that were being so closely associated with coronavirus. I wasn't having any sort of a dry cough. I didn't have any shortness of breath, and I didn't feel any pressure on my chest. So it was easy for me at first to think, this is nothing. This is not something to be concerned about. Thankfully, I had the resource of our own Dr. Jennifer Ashton, who said, you need to get tested.
Yeah, and we're going to talk to Jen in just a moment. And the reason she said that to you is because you had been in that area. There was a reason why you should have been tested. And we know, Kaylee, and I know that you have feelings about this, because there's so many people who have far worse symptoms and they're unable to get that test.
Yeah, we've all heard that these test kits are so valuable that there aren't enough for all of the people who want to get tested. And I'll tell you, I feel guilty that I'm someone who was able to get one, but just like you said, it was because of where I'd been. I actually called my healthcare provider after Dr. Jen told me to, who said, we won't test you. Your symptoms are too mild. We won't test you. 10 minutes later, I was defeated, confused. I didn't know where to turn or what to do. And my healthcare provider actually called me back and said, upon review of your case, because of where you've been, we do want you to get tested. And then I had to go through that process. So I empathize for so many people in my position who have these mild symptoms, who aren't experiencing something so severe you need hospitalization or you even require special care. I empathize with you completely, but I hope that I can be a reality check for some folks out there who are having these mild symptoms, feelings they've had before.
And
we all need to be listening to our bodies and recognizing there are no coincidences right now.
Right, you're 34 years old. You had no underlying condition whatsoever. So what are doctors telling you now, and what is your final message to viewers?
Doctors told me to do the things that I've been told to do plenty of times before. Rest, hydrate, and otherwise, all any of us can do is let time pass. You know, right now I'm being told to isolate for 14 days from the day when my symptoms really presented. And so if I'm being asked to stay inside for 14 days, think of if we all did that, if everyone who could really took this lockdown seriously, we could get past this so much faster. And that's my plea to everyone. Social distancing needs to be taken seriously. By the time you have symptoms, it's too late. You've already been capable of spreading this virus. And that's, again, where I feel tremendous guilt. I had to make uncomfortable phone calls to friends and colleagues who I'd come in contact after I came back from Seattle. Again, not feeling symptomatic, not knowing that I'd been in contact with anyone. If you have the slightest hint that something's wrong, please take this very seriously, and let's do everything we can can to help each other through this.
Yes, we will.